Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, and this time reviewing on The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, as you know, a couple weeks ago, I did review the Amazing Spider-Man film. Found it to be a disappointment and be a generic copy of the 2002 Spider-Man film. Now, when looking into The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I feel it's slightly better, but I think there are things that are just forced in, and this is due to rewriting scripts and that. Now, keep in mind this film came out in 2014. This was when I was in my second year of college, and this was when I was basically, still basically not starting my YouTube channel career. But let's get on with the premise. Now, the premise of the film is meant to feature Peter Parker as Spider-Man, who is once again basically updated his suit into a more updated one, and this is also due to the fact of criticism from Spider-Man fans due to the costume from the 2002 and 12 film. Now, keep in mind the point of Spider-Man having a different costume in a show was meant to signify a different sort of Spider-Man thing. For example, Spectacular Spider-Man had the kind of underarm web parts. For example, like Marvel Spider-Man Peter Parker had a more sort of white chest on the spider suit costume. Also, keep in mind that Spider-Man Unlimited had a more kind of technological-based suit. So pretty much the movie is meant to feature Peter Parker, who is pretty much still seeing Gwen, but mainly has doubts about basically being with Gwen. You've basically got Gwen Stacy, who basically wants to go to England for it at university, and you've got Max Dillon, who's kind of obsessed with Peter, and is kind of almost like the new animated series Electro. And yeah, I think they did took a lot of inspiration from it. So pretty much I do feel what the film does try to do is have a story that it wants to tell, but again, they force a lot of villains into the film that don't really need to be added in. For example, Harry basically being thrown in and becoming the Green Goblin, that's a bit enforced. You have the Rhino at the start and then the end, which kind of gave you the hint that there was going to be a third one, which there was, but never happened. And the story just seems to try and cram in as much as possible, but not really knowing what they wanted to do. Now, personally, if I was to write The Amazing Spider-Man 2, what I would have focused is Gwen basically still going to university, and Peter learning to accept that people need to move on in their lives, and that Peter needs to accept that Gwen needs to leave. I would have even have changed Max Dillon from being an Oscorp worker to basically being a kind of YouTube star who basically sees Spider-Man as his idol and wants to be just like him, and even does some investigating in Oscorp that ends up with him becoming Electro. That could have worked. And I know that originally the film was supposed to have Mary Jane. I would have had Mary Jane still in the film, and Peter learning to accept that, Gwen's leaving, and tries to form and basically him and MJ getting to know each other, and basically, as soon as Gwen leaves the airport, Peter basically coming back to MJ's workplace, say a cafe and that, to begin a relationship. And it could have shown people that people move on with their lives, and it's important to form a new life with someone else. But no, they basically just throw in Green Goblin, axe off Gwen, and then that's it. There were plans for basically a Venom movie, a Sinister Six movie, and Amazing Spider-Man 3 and 4 that never happened. And this is due to the film's low success. And yeah, they sort of do reboot it again for the Marvel Cinematic Universe that had a more realistic and more sort of TV show style film. Now, yeah, once again, Peter's parents are introduced, but not heavily enforced, and yeah, we do get more explanations to it, which feels a bit like, hey Arnold. So I think it's slightly better, but again, I kind of wish they could have changed not too much, and I do feel, yeah, Andrew Garfield at least does a better job in this. So I think the film deserves thumbs in the middle. Kind of alright, but kind of okay. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.